His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa sent a cable of congratulations to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, on Saudi Arabia's National Day. His Majesty congratulated the Saudi monarch on the occasion, wishing him abundant health and happiness to continue the march witnessed by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia under his leadership. His Majesty also expressed pride and appreciation for the relations between the peoples of Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, which embody their close fraternal ties. His Majesty affirmed Bahrain's keenness to continue developing various joint work and cooperation with Saudi Arabia within the framework of their strategic partnership to meet the aspirations of the two peoples and for the benefit of both countries. His Majesty the King sent a similar cable to His Royal Highness the Saudi Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, congratulating him on the occasion, wishing him continued health and happiness. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received at Safaria Palace the Executive Director of the International Dates Council, Her Royal Highness Princess Sarah bint Bandar bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, and the accompanying delegation on the occasion of her visit to the kingdom to sign the agreement to establish the headquarters of the International Dates Council in Bahrain. His Majesty the King welcomed Her Royal Highness Princess Sarah bint Bandar bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. His Majesty praised the distinguished historic and close relations between Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, as well as the advanced level of cooperation and coordination in various domains and the launch of joint projects. His Majesty welcomed the signing of the agreement to establish the headquarters of the International Dates Council in Bahrain, which represents a strategic step to make the kingdom a key hub for regional international initiatives related to this sector. His Majesty the King expressed appreciation to the members of the council for their support of Bahrain hosting this council, in addition to further enhancing the position of dates as a strategic global product that serves the global economy and enhances cooperation between member states and the exchange of experiences and expertise. His Majesty affirmed the kingdom's support for the council's programs and initiatives aimed at further strengthening international cooperation to develop the dates sector and improve its production and quality. For her part, Her Royal Highness expressed thanks and appreciation to His Majesty the King for the generous hospitality and warm reception and for the kingdom hosting the headquarters of the council. She valued Bahrain's interest in the dates sector for its importance in achieving economic and social development. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received at Safaria Palace Pakistan Speaker of the National Assembly, Sardar Ayaz Sadiq, on the occasion of his visit to the kingdom. The National Assembly Speaker conveyed to His Majesty the greetings and appreciation of Pakistan's President Asif Ali Zardari, along with his wishes of continued prosperity and progress for Bahrain and its people. His Majesty affirmed the depth of the strong bilateral relations and the solid historical friendship between Bahrain and Pakistan under the shared commitment and efforts to continue developing and enhancing them in various domains. His Majesty welcomed the Speaker of the Pakistani National Assembly and asked him to convey his greetings to the Pakistani President, along with the best wishes of growth and prosperity for the people of Pakistan. His Majesty praised the course of Bahraini-Pakistani relations and highlighted the importance of such visits, which reflect the mutual keenness to strengthen cooperation between the legislative authorities of both countries. His Majesty also stressed the value of exchanging experiences in parliamentary and legislative work, as well as coordination on shared issues in service of the interests of both Arab and Islamic nations. His Majesty expressed pride in the important achievements and gains accomplished by the legislative authority in various aspects of life for the welfare of the kingdom and its people. His Majesty also lauded the cooperation between Pakistan and Bahrain, which embodies the close Islamic fraternity linking the two countries. During the meeting, a number of regional and international topics and current developments of mutual interest were discussed. For his part, the Pakistani National Assembly Speaker expressed gratitude and appreciation to His Majesty the King for the warm welcome and kind hospitality. He noted His Majesty's role in the continuous growth of Bahraini-Pakistani relations at all levels, yielding benefits for both countries and their peoples. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa sent a cable of congratulations to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, on Saudi Arabia's National Day. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister sent a similar cable to His Royal Highness the Saudi Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa chaired the weekly cabinet meeting at Gudaibiya Palace. The cabinet highlighted the importance of the statement delivered on behalf of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa at the extraordinary session of the GCC Supreme Council and the Emergency Arab Islamic Summit convened to address the Israeli attack on Qatar. The cabinet underscored the significance of His Majesty's participation, which was represented by His Majesty the King's personal representative, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Hamad Al Khalifa. The statement affirmed the need for Arab and Islamic nations to speak with a unified voice and safeguard peace and a steadfast approach to securing the future generations to come. The cabinet also reviewed the report submitted by the Minister of Justice, Islamic Affairs and Waqf in this regard. The cabinet affirmed the outcomes of the official visit of His Royal Highness to Japan, during which His Royal Highness met with Emperor of Japan, His Majesty Emperor Naruhito, the Crown Prince of Japan, His Imperial Highness Fumihito, and the Prime Minister of Japan, Shigeru Chiba. In this regard, the cabinet highlighted the announcement to enhance bilateral relations between Bahrain and Japan for a comprehensive partnership to a strategic partnership. The cabinet noted that this new level of cooperation was further reinforced through the signing of MOUs and cooperation across priority sectors of mutual interest. The cabinet expressed gratitude to the Emperor of Japan, the Crown Prince of Japan, and the government of Japan for their warm hospitality and reception. The cabinet commended Bahrain's pavilion at Expo 2025 Osaka, Kansai, Japan, and expressed appreciation to the President of the Bahrain Authority for Culture and Antiquities and the pavilion organizers for creating an immersive experience that highlights the kingdom's rich cultural heritage and ongoing development. The cabinet reviewed the report submitted by the Minister of the Prime Minister's Court in this regard. Marking World Tourism Day, the cabinet outlined the importance of continuing to adopt initiatives that support the development of the kingdom's growing tourism sector. The cabinet further commended the efforts of the national workforce and relevant entities in implementing strategies and specialized programs to advance the tourism industry. The cabinet congratulated the leadership, government and people of Saudi Arabia on Saudi National Day. The cabinet highlighted Saudi Arabia's accomplishments under the leadership of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, and the support of His Royal Highness the Saudi Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. The cabinet then approved the following memorandums. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Financial and Economic Affairs and Fiscal Balance regarding the latest developments in Bahrain's performance in priority competitiveness reports and indicators. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding a draft law approving the Unified Law on the Management of Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture for GCC countries. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding the political declaration of the fourth high-level meeting of the UN General Assembly on the prevention and control of non-communicable diseases and the promotion of mental health and well-being. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding an agreement between the government of Bahrain and the government of Azerbaijan, the government of Mongolia, and the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica regarding the exemption from visa requirements for holders of diplomatic passports. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Community Services regarding the outcomes of implementing the decision to prohibit outdoor work during midday hours for the period from June 15th to September 15th, 2025. The memorandum outlined that based on 35,050 inspection visits, there was a compliance rate of 99.97%. The cabinet commended the commitment demonstrated by various companies to the decision. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs on the government's response to several draft laws and proposals submitted by the Representatives Council. The Cabinet then reviewed a memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Development Projects and Infrastructure regarding the completion of the road maintenance and bridge expansion plans for the summer of 2025. The Cabinet also noted the following ministerial reports. The outcomes of the official visit to the Minister of Works to Egypt and Bahrain's calendar of events from September to December 2025. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the Executive Director of the International Dates Council, Her Royal Highness Princess Sarah bint Bandar bin Abdulaziz Al Saud at Qudaybiyah Palace. His Royal Highness highlighted the strength of Bahraini-Saudi relations underpinned by strategic multi-sector partnerships which were supported by His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. His Royal Highness recognized the commitment of His Royal Highness the Saudi Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud to enhancing bilateral ties in support of their continued progress. His Royal Highness underscored the efforts of the International Dates Council in advancing food-related production and processing as well as supporting sustainable agricultural development and food security across the GCC. His Royal Highness welcomed Bahrain's hosting of the International Dates Council headquarters, reflecting the Kingdom's commitment to agriculture, afforestation, palm cultivation and date production. His Royal Highness emphasized that these efforts embody the Kingdom's well-established reputation for supporting quality initiatives. His Royal Highness noted that hosting the headquarters of the International Dates Council reflects the Kingdom's continued commitment to strengthening international agricultural innovation and development. His Royal Highness emphasized that this step consolidates the Kingdom's role as an international hub for expertise and knowledge in the date sector, while supporting efforts to achieve global food security and sustainable development. For her part, Her Royal Highness expressed thanks and appreciation to His Royal Highness for his commitment to boosting bilateral cooperation. Her Royal Highness also commended Bahrain's unwavering support for initiatives that contribute to advancing food innovation and achieving food security. The Minister of the Prime Minister's Court, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, and several senior officials were also in attendance. National Security Advisor and Royal Guard Commander His Highness Lieutenant General Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa visited the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst in the UK in the presence of Bahrain's ambassador to the UK, Sheikh Fawaz bin Mohammed Al Khalifa, the Deputy National Security Advisor Sheikh Khalid bin Ali Al Khalifa, the Chairman of the Strategic Security Bureau Sheikh Ahmed bin Abdulaziz Al Khalifa, and the Capital Governor Sheikh Khalid bin Hamoud Al Khalifa. His Highness affirmed that the strong relations between Bahrain and the UK are based on solid foundations of joint work laid down by His Majesty the King with the follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. He noted that the Academy is one of the institutions that has contributed to strengthening the BDF by providing competent officers through an environment conducive to developing their capabilities. His Highness and the accompanying delegation were received by the Commandant of the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst, Major General Nick Cowley, and a number of senior officers from the BDF and the Academy. During the visit, His Highness witnessed the signing of a cooperation agreement in the field of leadership development and initial training for officers between the Isa Royal Military College and the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst. His Highness said that the agreement represents a qualitative step in the development of Bahraini military cadres and reflects Bahrain's keenness to invest in military competencies by providing an advanced training and educational environment. His Highness also met with a number of Bahraini military cadets at the Academy, praising its role in preparing and training its graduates and its approach to leadership and discipline. The Speaker of the Representatives Council, Ahmed Al-Musallam, met with the Speaker of the National Assembly of Pakistan, Sardar Ayaz Sadiq, and his accompanying delegation. The meeting comes within the framework of supporting bilateral cooperation, joint parliamentary coordination, and enhancing the close relations between the two countries. Al-Musallam affirmed the depth of the close historical relations between Bahrain and Pakistan and the advanced cooperation witnessed under the patronage of His Majesty the King and the Pakistani President. He highlighted the shared parliamentary commitment to supporting economic projects and investment opportunities, increasing trade exchange and activating the role of parliamentary diplomacy in consolidating the values and principles of peace, stability, development and prosperity in the region. For his part, the Speaker of the Pakistani National Assembly affirmed his country's pride in the efforts of His Majesty the King in enhancing bilateral relations, developing cooperation and coordinating common positions. During the meeting, regional developments and topics of common interest were discussed. The Speaker of the Representatives Council and the Speaker of the National Assembly of Pakistan launched a new section on the Council's website dedicated to the Sustainable Development Goals. They also planted a tree in the Council's courtyard as a symbolic gesture to promote environmental sustainability and the Green Parliament Initiative, which seeks to integrate eco-friendly practices into parliamentary work. The initiative forms part of Bahrain's broader afforestation drive aimed at expanding green spaces, encouraging sustainable practices and meeting national targets to plant 3.6 million trees by 2035 in support of the Kingdom's commitment to carbon neutrality by 2060. Shura Council Chairman Ali As-Saleh received the Speaker of Pakistan's National Assembly, Sardar Ayaz Sadiq. The meeting reviewed bilateral relations and discussed ways to boost parliamentary cooperation and exchange expertise between the two countries' legislative bodies. As-Saleh highlighted the depth of the historic ties between Bahrain and Pakistan and emphasized the importance of enhancing parliamentary coordination and joint efforts to serve the aspirations of both nations. Sadiq expressed appreciation for Bahrain's support for regional stability and praised the Shura Council's role in advancing parliamentary work and enhancing dialogue with legislative institutions worldwide. He highlighted the value of exchanging parliamentary visits and coordinating positions on regional and international issues to promote parliamentary diplomacy. Deputy Prime Minister Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa received the Executive Director of the International Dates Council, Her Royal Highness Princess Sarah bint Bandar bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah affirmed Bahrain's strong commitment to supporting regional and international initiatives aimed at boosting food security in line with the vision of His Majesty the King, with the follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. He noted that this strategic approach reflects Bahrain's role in ensuring the sustainability of agricultural development at the regional and global levels. He highlighted the Bahraini-Saudi relations in all fields, praising Saudi Arabia's initiatives to develop the agricultural sector, which has become a recognized model at regional and international levels. The Deputy Premier commended the partnership with the IDC, which has been further boosted by Bahrain's hosting the headquarters of the International Dates Council. Her Royal Highness expressed appreciation for Bahrain's support, stressing that this step will strengthen international cooperation and the global competitiveness of the date industry, as well as contribute to food security efforts worldwide. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al Zaini, participated in the coordination meeting of the GCC ministerial meeting on the sidelines of the 80th UN General Assembly. The meeting was chaired by the Kuwaiti Minister of Foreign Affairs and chairman of the current session of the Ministerial Council, Abdullah Al Yahya, with the participation of GCC foreign ministers and the GCC Secretary General Jassim Al Bdawi. The ministers reviewed the topics on the agenda and discussed joint coordination among the GCC states. Regarding the meeting scheduled to be held with the foreign ministers of a number of friendly countries, as well as the topics to be discussed during the 80th UNGA. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdulatif bin Rashid al-Zayani, met with his Greek counterpart, George Gera Petraitis. They discussed the friendship ties between Bahrain and Greece, their development in various fields, as well as ways to enhance bilateral cooperation in vital areas of mutual interest to serve common interests. The two sides also discussed ways to enhance cooperation, coordination and joint consultation during Bahrain and Greece membership in the UN Security Council. They further exchanged views on the latest developments in the Middle East, the war in Gaza, efforts to recognize an independent Palestinian state, and regional and international issues of mutual concern. The Minister of Foreign Affairs met with the Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi. They discussed the agency's efforts in the peaceful uses of nuclear energy, monitoring and inspecting the activities of its member states, exploring ways of joint cooperation in enhancing technical expertise and supporting research and educational programs, and building qualified national cadres within the framework of constructive cooperation between Bahrain and the agency in the peaceful uses of atomic energy. They also discussed a number of topics of mutual interest. The Minister of Foreign Affairs participated in the high-level event on water diplomacy organized by the Saudi Ministry of Foreign Affairs in partnership with the Ministries of Foreign Affairs of Spain, Tajikistan, Finland and Senegal at the UN headquarters in New York. The conference was inaugurated by the Saudi Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Highness Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud, with a speech in which he emphasized the importance of a shared understanding of the role of water and of charting a decisive course for joint action. He noted that water is a fundamental element of international security, economic development and global resilience. His Highness added that water challenges are intensifying across the globe and that international cooperation is indispensable. The Minister of Foreign Affairs participated in the celebration marking the 80th anniversary of the United Nations. Dr. al-Zayani expressed Bahrain's pride in the UN's vital role in the international community. He affirmed the kingdom's keenness to continue bolstering cooperation frameworks with the UN and its agencies and enhancing strategic partnerships to achieve the desired goals, wishing it further development and success. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres delivered a speech in which he said that the UN was established to be a platform where all countries could come together to address issues. He pointed out the need to defend, renew and develop the UN through the 2030 Agenda, the Pact for the Future and the UN 80 Initiative. The President of the General Assembly's 80th session, Annalena Baerbock, also delivered a speech in which she pointed out that the slogan of the session, Better Together, is not just a phrase, but a truth that came after sacrifices, requiring the courage to face problems, choose dialogue over division, and make difficult decisions when necessary. The Minister of Foreign Affairs also held a meeting with the diplomatic delegation designated to serve Bahrain's team for its non-permanent membership of the UN Security Council 2026-2027. Dr. al-Zayani congratulated them on their selection for this assignment. He highlighted the goals sought by the kingdom in line with the visions of His Majesty the King and in accordance with the government directive led by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, emphasizing the strong attention given to Bahrain's Security Council membership. He said the work of the diplomatic delegation at the Security Council was a good opportunity to highlight Bahrain's international position and its diplomatic approach driven by His Majesty's vision of peace, tolerance, coexistence and human fraternity, reflecting balance, moderation, cooperation and Bahrain's core values. Dr. al-Zayani underlined the importance of developing skills, acquiring new capabilities and learning the working methods and political discussions at the Council. He underscored the need to engage actively, highlighting the importance of teamwork and close coordination. He noted the important role and responsibilities of the Security Council as one of the UN bodies responsible for international peace and security. The Minister of Municipalities and Agriculture, Engineer Wael Mubarak, and the Executive Director of the International Dates Council, the IDC, Her Royal Highness Princess Sarah bint Bandar bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, had signed an agreement to establish the headquarters for the Council in Bahrain. Mubarak highlighted that the initiative reflects Bahrain's ongoing efforts to implement the visions of His Majesty the King, with the follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister to develop the agricultural sector and further strengthen Bahrain's position as a regional and international center for the date industry. He expressed appreciation for Her Royal Highness's initiatives in developing the date industry at the regional and international levels, praising the vital role played by the IDC and affirming Bahrain's keenness to support the Council and host all its initiatives. The Bahrain Institute for Political Development, in cooperation with the Council of Representatives, announced the launch of the third phase of the Future Bet program, offering participants a realistic parliamentary simulation experience. The new phase features a comprehensive training program on parliamentary practices, including the role of legislator, parliamentary tools and committee work, in addition to field visits to committee halls and plenary sessions, attending a weekly session of the Council and a full parliamentary simulation in the Council chamber. The launch of the fourth edition of Her Highness Sheikha Hissa bint Salman Al Khalifa Award for Voluntary Youth Work is a culmination of the great success of the previous three editions. The award has motivated dozens of Bahraini youth to launch outstanding volunteer initiatives that have had a clear impact in various social and humanitarian fields. More in this report.
The Her Highness Sheikha Hissa bint Salman Al Khalifa Award for Voluntary Youth Work is a pioneering national initiative that honors outstanding volunteer projects led by Bahraini youth, in line with national directives and the guidelines of the Supreme Council for Women in supporting youth empowerment and enhancing their role in the constructive development process led by His Majesty the King. The award highlights their contributions in the field of volunteer work and motivates them to promote a spirit of social responsibility and generosity in serving the causes for their community. This award carries a high moral symbolism, as it is associated with the name of a prominent national female figure, Her Highness Sheikha Hissa bint Salman Al Khalifa, may she rest in peace. In 2011, a royal decree was issued to establish the award in recognition and appreciation of Her Highness's extensive charitable and humanitarian contributions and efforts in various fields. The award aims to promote and spread the concept of volunteerism among young people, highlight its moral value as a national and humanitarian duty and its impact on society, and strengthen and develop the role of young people as individuals and groups in achieving success and creativity in volunteer work projects in a sustainable manner. It also aims at promoting a spirit of competition among young people in the field of volunteer work, highlighting youth initiatives in the implementation of outstanding projects aimed at serving the community. The award has contributed to establishing a culture of volunteer work and forming a link between the energies of Bahraini youth and the needs of society, thereby strengthening its position as a leading national initiative that celebrates youth creativity and contributes to advancing sustainable development.